Hey everyone, welcome back to the CLIFFGOAT channel. Today we're tackling a fun and somewhat controversial topic. We've got a list of hobbies ranked from least to most attractive that's been making the rounds on social media. Posted from people like Clay Travis, Jake Lucky, Liz Wheeler, and many, many more. And let's dive into this list and see if these hobbies really deserve their spot or if they're just misunderstood. Ready for some laughs? Let's get started. And just so you know, this list is ranked in score from 50 and it goes up by 5 points all the way up to the #1 most unattractive hobby. So I mean, this is not a very scientific list, let's just be honest. But for the humor, let's just go through and just read everything. All right, kicking off the list at #1. And I figured why not just start with #1 because #9 is just as amusing as #1 for this list that just came out. So #1, we have video games. Video games are awesome, but apparently they're the hobby equivalent of I'll be ready in 5 minutes, which means 2 hours later, you're still fighting monsters and saving the universe. So it's all about balance. Or do we need to level up our data game? #2 is collecting figurines. This hobby can turn your home into a mini museum, but you might find yourself explaining for the 100th time why you have a shelf dedicated to action figures. It's like having your own little army without the actual fighting. Just remember, when your friends ask about your collection, it's art might be a good response. Next up, #3 is magic tricks. Performing magic is like being a professional. Now you see me, now you don't, artist. It's impressive, but if you're the only one at the party pulling rabbits out of hats, you might need a new audience. And hey, if the card tricks don't work, at least you've got some cool illusions to entertain yourself. And #4 is online trolling. I mean, if you're watching this on like Twitter or even my channel, chances are you've trolled someone before. I mean, I'm just saying. Let's face it, trolling is like it's like throwing a party and then complaining about the noise. It's disruptive and annoying, and no one likes the guy who shows up just to stir the pot. If you want to make friends online, try being a positive participant instead of a digital troublemaker. I mean, online trollers, y'all get on my nerves, especially on one of my previous videos. It was like an F-bomb every other comment. That got on my dang nerves. At #6, we have building model trains. I kind of agree with this one. This hobby might seem outdated to some, but I mean, it's a great way to be creative and meticulous. It's like creating a tiny version of the world, but without the stress of traffic jams. Just don't be surprised if your friends think you're secretly trying to start a miniature railway empire. But without the stress of traffic jams, just don't be surprised if your friends think you're secretly trying to start a miniature railway empire. #7 on the list is taxidermy. Taxidermy is unique, and if you're into it, you've got some serious skills. It's like having a permanent reminder of your hunting adventures, except it's right there on your mantle. But just remember, it's not everyone's idea of a good time, so keep it classy. Next up is a comic book collection at #8. I mean, collecting comics is awesome. Deadpool is my first comic ever that I pulled from HEB back in the 1990s. Just make sure your collection doesn't get so big that you need a superhero to help you organize it. After all, even Batman needed a bat cave. And finally, we have bird watching at #9, which, I mean, if there's any item on this list that's gonna be #1, it should be bird watching. I mean, let's just be honest. But let's go ahead and look at the pros of bird watching. Bird watching is like having a front row seat to nature's own reality show. I mean, it's peaceful, it's fulfilling, and hey, you just might become the next bird whisperer. Just don't be surprised if your friends start asking you for bird watching tips. So there you have it. That's the list of hobbies that people rated as the least attractive hobbies for men, according to women. But remember, everyone's got their unique interests and passions. I mean, I can't see how video games made it to #1 on this list. I mean, really? Video games? I would think that would be not even on the list at all, but here it is anyway. But what really matters is how you embrace those hobbies with others. So what do you think of the list? Do you agree, or do you think these hobbies deserve more love? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about these hobbies, whether you've got any others that should have made the list. So don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. This is CLIFFGOAT from youtube.com/CLIFFGOAT.